Seriously? Yeah.
There's a new Montreal Canadiens rumor making the rounds, and this one involves former first-round pick Anthony Mantha. Before we get carried away, though, I think it's important to pump the brakes a little bit here. The report comes from Marc-Olivier Beaudoin, who's had legitimate information in the past. He's broken a few things correctly, so I don't think that this is something that we should dismiss necessarily, but it's also worth reading what he says. He says he's been told Montreal has shown interest in Anthony Mantha's services. Then he immediately follows up by saying the Canadiens would only be interested in a very short-term contract, while Mantha is looking for something with more term. He even finishes by saying the chances of Mantha signing in Montreal are quite slim. Yeah, that's a pretty important detail. But of course, Montreal and their fans, being the way that they are, this is exciting news. So I figured I'd report on it. I'm going to give some of my thoughts about this as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the player that is Anthony Mantha. So let's talk about it.
We were trying to locate Joel Hofer, and I think we found him. Look very close. Oh, there he is. Do you still need me?
This is a fun rumor. He's actually an individual who I've considered before. I think I only really considered him, though, when I was looking at Rust and Raquel. There are a few qualities about Mantha that threw me off like immediately, but we'll get to those. I'm going to talk about the things that I like about Mantha and some of the things that I don't like about Mantha. But do I like him as a trade to Montreal? Oh, it's an interesting answer, actually. Almost as interesting as some of these deals from our sponsor, Slapsharks. I don't know if you can relate, but during the off season, I want to rip cards more than ever. Let's see what Slapsharks has going on right now. Oh man, they consistently have some of the biggest grails in hockey. So that's always a draw. But if you have a specific player that you like to collect, like I've really been trying to find some Jacob Fowler cards, and they can be found here. His market has somewhat cooled down. So if you haven't gotten his young guns yet, now might be the right time to do it. Or look at this. I have Jared Davidson's young gun, but I did want to pick up his canvas. I'll probably put a bid on this one because it's currently only at 99 cents. The main message about Slapsharks is that you can find cards that you want or sell your cards that are collecting dust, and Slapsharks takes care of everything for you: shipping, setting up the post, the sale, and getting you your money. They've also got their own app, which makes it super easy to submit your own cards, watch your auctions, and track your sales from cards that aren't part of your PC. So take a look at Slapsharks today. I'll leave a link in the description. Happy hunting. Thank you as always to Slapsharks. Hit that link in the description. It does really help me out if you go touch that thing. So, like I said, I'll start with the things that I like. First of all, right off the top, thing that you notice about Mantha, well, he's 6'5". It's over 230 pounds. And when he's playing his best game, he's a whole lot to handle, and Montreal needs that. If you watch the Tampa series with Montreal this playoff season, you know that Montreal never backs down from physicality. But if the forward group were a little bit bigger, and yeah, admittedly, if the defensive group was a more physical one, that would definitely add a whole different angle to this Montreal team. So if you had a guy like Anthony Mantha charging towards the net, all 6'5", 230 pounds, it puts your head on the swivel, and it also makes the defenders constantly have to, understand that this is a possibility out there. And for his size, maybe it's not apparent right away, and maybe it wouldn't come to you naturally to think that Anthony Mantha has an incredible shot. Last season, his shot percentage was well over 20%, and that's not even just some random outlier. He's been able to do that before. I like the Pittsburgh Penguins. I watched the Pittsburgh Penguins. I watched them in the playoffs this season. And I think what I like about his offensive game is that he keeps it simple, and I think that's probably what works for him. He puts pucks through, he knows how to put pucks through, and he gets in tough spots where he can put the puck through. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And if you give him chances around the circle or the slot, he can beat NHL goaltenders. So size, finishing ability, and experience too. Those are all things that Montreal can certainly use right now. But then we get to my concerns about Mantha. First is his role. Where would he fit in Montreal? If you're expecting Mantha to be like an obvious second liner, that might be too much for him. I think that he projects to be more of a low middle six type guy. So maybe someone who can help your scoring like in the depth department, but not not a real great partner for Ivan Demidov. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not like the deal killer for me necessarily. But the next thing gets me a little bit more nervous, and I think it's the elephant in the room. It's his durability. Mantha has now played 10 NHL seasons, and he's never played a full season. He's a Band-Aid boy, just like our boy Doc. And in fact, Frozen Tools literally labels him as a Band-Aid boy. And we will talk about Doc in this video because it's kind of unintentionally hilarious considering Montreal has their own Band-Aid boy, Kirby Doc, and maybe Mantha could be like a replacement. Because if you compare the two statistically over the last several years, there are quite a few categories where Mantha and Doc are close to each other, but Mantha does in fact outproduce Doc. Still, if that's the idea, replacing one injury-prone player for another, it's not a winning formula, especially considering one is younger and one is older, and this team wants to continue on the same path with age. Mantha will be 32 when this season starts. Like, even if he was 27 or 28, it would be way better, way easier to digest. So you're talking about a player who's, entering his mid-30s, injury history, and as Marc-Olivier had said, he's looking for term. This is probably his money contract, just coming off the best year of his entire career. 33 goals. By the way, he got 33 goals last season. That would be injecting 33 goals into the Montreal Canadiens. Wow. Yeah, that's worth a lot of money. But it doesn't really line up with what Kent Hughes has said in the past or what's going on in this roster. The management group have been incredibly disciplined about term, about age, about compensation. And while they said that they would be willing to hand out money and overpay for individuals of elite scoring status, I don't think that Mantha fits that category. So then what is my conclusion on this? Do I like the idea? Do I not like the idea? With anything, it just depends. If they can convince him to sign short term, he is a Quebec boy, by the way. Maybe he wants to play 1-2 seasons in La Belle Province. Compensation is also the other thing. How much does he really expect here? And does it block a deal down the road for a more sought-after player? That you can't go crazy this year for the Canadiens without clearing some cap space. A move like this, it stunts you. The other thing that I thought would be really cute is if they are in fact getting rid of Kirby Doc, move Doc, try Mantha out. Would Mantha potentially do it for that $4 million? Cool. Makes it a lot more palatable. But ultimately, it's too much of a deal that could cripple the Canadiens later on in the season when they do want to pick up someone else like the Marchenko idea, but that relies on Columbus failing. And still, I think that Hughes and Gorton have something in the works. I think that we could be surprised this summer. Elliot Friedman said that, they're not the types of people who have just one option. Maybe they wanted Marchenko, and maybe that deal was looking pretty good on their side of things, apparently. But I get the impression they are knocking on doors. They are leaving flyers. They are sending follow-up emails, voicemails, carrier pigeons. So we'll see what happens. So now I throw it to you all. Let's say Anthony Mantha wants to sign a 1-year contract. He does it for a digestible price. And because of where he is in his career, he has to take this season very seriously. Would you do it? Or should Montreal stay away completely, remain flexible, remain agile with their cap space, and continue looking for something else perhaps? Let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support recently. You've been great. It's the off season. We're still doing numbers. And the support in the comments section is just like, it's incredible. I can't believe how generous you are and complimentary you are to the content that we're making in this community. So take care of yourselves, keep enjoying your summer, and you know what to do. Like the video, it helps me out probably with something, I think. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.
Полное, но просто Глеб, да. Глеб.